was like gonna melt our brains, or was like a waste of time. Don't watch that.
She knew SpongeBob was Muslim at the time.
She didn't know. She never knew. She never knew. What can I say? This was it was a post 9/11 world, so you know what I mean. Um, and so like my dad was very much didn't like us watching like Disney, 'cause he's like, oh, these dumb idiot teenager shows like where the kids are too sassy to their parents and whatnot. So Avatar was one of those few that like nobody had any grievances with, and it's just a phenomenal show. Like I don't give this badge of honor lightly, but it is a masterpiece of a show. I think anybody from any age would enjoy it. I think it's truly a well-rounded masterpiece of a show.
Just
And
like
so
you.
yeah, I grew up watching it. I'm gonna blush. I'm gonna self-destruct. So yeah, I think it's just a great show. Grew up watching it. Always really, really big diehard Avatar fan. My whole family really big diehard Avatar fans. I grew up watching it with my brothers. I remember like with my first job, and I finally had like my own money. Right? I remember going into like FYE. I'm buying this. It's happening. And it was like in the clearance section. And then I take it up to the counter. And they're like, and I was like, should I stutter? I'm fine. Yeah, it's just a really good part. I related to so many of the characters. I related to Aang in his struggles of getting through his faith despite external pressures telling him he's wrong and he needs to make an exception, or he needs to choose a different path, or the path that he's chosen is going to get him I really, really resonated with Aang in that way. I resonated with Katara in her shield and her strength. Even when people told her that she was mushy and stuck her nose in battles that weren't her fight, she still stood her ground and fought for what she believed in. Related with Toph in that she didn't fit like the archetype of every typical girl. She was still strong and tough, regardless of her disability, regardless of what her parents expected from her or what the world told her she had to be. I related to Sokka in his very much an idea man. In the way, even though he was very much outside the box, a lot of times people would call his plans or his ideas crazy or this is never gonna work, but he would still push through and things would work out. So many of the cast, and I think there's so many amazing life lessons to be found in Avatar. And so Avatar always held a really, really big place in my heart. And when I had the joy and the honor and the privilege to meet Lucia, we became instant friends. And then I was hanging out and had gotten server on the game, which is also full of amazing, remarkably talented people, and I encourage you to check out the episodes that are on there. And we would just be good friends, like I said. We would be kind of sticking up for funsies now and then. And I remember one day, it was actually I was having a rough time. I was going through a really rough time in my life. And we were doing some comic reads, and she was like, I think you should read for Katara. I think I've been reading for Katara. But she's like, the Katara is great, but I do have someone who does start with Katara. It's very I would love to hear you. Okay.
Everyone universally loved your talk. Like it was perfect the moment it happened. Sometimes a person just strikes on a roll and it's meant for them.
I'm so honored by Toph, like by being given the opportunity to voice her. I think she's so remarkable in so many ways and breaks so many barriers in so many ways and also breaks expectations and flips the script and all of that beautiful stuff. We're really, really honored by Lucia telling me to read it, and she didn't know that there's something in the comics for my buddy Leoma is producing this project. It's going to be a project.
game. You were in that same video game that
I
Peter
was.
Giazzato. You were the favorite
I
out of
was.
all the voice actors. You were. He
That
was the
my very
mascot.
first video game.
You played.
I played The Lone Passenger, which was sort of a metaphor for the game. And so when you get on, you're sitting at the back of the train. The game is called Elsewhere Express. It was for Amazon back in 2002 or 2022. And you can find it online. It's still available. Elsewhere Express. It's kind of inspired by the train scenes. It's really cool. And it's really cool. And it's a fun, like, philosophical game. And so in the game, on the Lone Passenger, who's sitting at the very back of the train, and as you're talking to them, you're starting to get a feel for who is this person. And so they are the embodiment of death, right? The embodiment of the brain, so to speak. And so when they get off the train and you see them, if you look out the window, you can see that before it was just a hood, is now very much a painted cloak. Very much like that caricature of the good people that you see in some of the that was just a really cool game. I'm rambling, but I'm just really honored to be here. Thank you.
We're honored to have you always. Alright, Kate and James, who wants to go next?
Okay. So, my history with the Avatar franchise is pretty different from this. I was around when it first came out. I was 13 when it first aired, and I recall watching the first episode. And I feel like the humor in that show peaked in the first episode, when Sokka was giving his speech about what it means to be a man and a warrior, and to step up and defend the village. And then then it's revealed he's giving that speech to toddlers, and one of them raises his hand and says, "I gotta pee!" And honestly, I watched 3 more episodes after that. I recall watching Kyoshi Warriors, but none of the humor in those episodes was able to live up to that joke. So I fell off it. I didn't stick with it until it came to Netflix during lockdown, and then I gave it a fair shot. Yeah, it's a good show. 10 out of 10 would recommend.
Live action Netflix, would you recommend that one too?
No.
That's what the N stands for.
I anti-recommend it.
Natla, I think you mean Natla.
Not my Natla.
But not mine.
What's your experience with the series, with the project?
Well, like James, I also have a bit of an irregular relationship to Avatar: The Last Airbender. I was also watching it as it was airing in the year of our Lord 2005. 20 years ago.
Stop making us feel old, Cade. We get it. You're dumb. Stop flexing on us, Cade. We get it.
You make all of us sound much older than you're actually. Dude,
Cade
you're making. Yeah.
20 years ago, I was 6.
Cade was born the same year as Ocarina of Time, and that disgusts me.
Dude,
You're older than Star Wars: The Phantom Menace.
Dare you?
Anyway, as you were.
You just make us
what's the
sound
point
a
of
lot
that?
older than we
That's
actually
the
are.
real benchmark.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
He got bullied.
Continue.
You're bullying us.
No,
Continue with my point. Well, my point was, if you're born before Google, you're a superior Generation Z.
Okay, let's not, Anakin. Let's not start about how you want to kill younglings.
You see, she's overly critical. She's holding me back. For real.
Alright, let's
I'm piecing out. Bye.
Yeah, he's leaving.
All
He's
right.
leaving. Look what you've done.
No,
you
no,
chased
no.
the interviewer away.
Catch you later.
You chased the interview. Are you ashamed of yourself?
Well, now it's free reign.
Oh, there you go. I guess the interview's over.
I guess it's over. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true, cause the Avatar Ryoma says so.
Hey, you brought him back.
Oh, welcome back.
He's a pal and a confidant. Yay.
Everyone flex until he comes back. So buff.
For real now. When I watched the show when book 1 was airing, I remember liking Aang a lot and not having many opinions past that. I was a bit too young to have developed opinions, as I like to call them. And I remember I watched some of book 2. And by some, I mean I know I saw Zuko Alone when it aired. I know I saw The Blind Bandit when it aired. I know for a fact I never saw the first episode of book 2. And I know for a fact that I didn't see much of book 2 because my few memories of book 2 are Toph, I think the library, Zuko Alone, and the next thing I knew, I was at the Crossroads of Destiny and had no idea what the heck was going on, but I followed it. I somehow managed to follow it.
So were you shocked when Zuko sided with Azula, or had you missed too much of his development that you were like, duh, of course he's siding?
I was like, yeah, this is just normal Zuko right here, what I'm dealing with. if anything, Zuko Alone was the weird outlier.
You're like, what's this weird episode where Zuko's nice? Like, that was weird. Anyway, back to him being evil.
Anyway, because Crossroads of Destiny is such a good episode, and thanks to the previously on Avatar actually being useful in that scenario, I understood enough of the episode to know, like, oh, Aang died for real this time. Except no, Katara had the not for real healing.
Your perspective is so interesting because when Crossroads of Destiny aired, so many people were devastated because everyone was convinced Zuko was going to join the gang at this point because he's been building towards that. But for you, since you went from book 1 to basically Crossroads of Destiny with only a little bit in between, for you, you're like, what is Katara expecting? That's stupid. Like, why would he sign me
Also,
up?
who's this Azula girl? Where'd she come from?
Where'd she come from? Well, like, I get why he sided with her.
Thank you, previously on Avatar, for giving me the rundown on who Azula is. Then, as if it was a major course correction, I remember the ending of book 2 got me so gripped that, what was it? The 2 years we had to wait for book 3 to show up was constant agony. At least it felt like 2 years. It might have only been 1, but it felt like 2. And to the point where when book 3 aired, not only did I make absolutely sure to watch the Awakening, I think that's the episode name of episode 1 of book 3, I bought the DVD that had the first 5 episodes of book 3. The Awakening, I never remember the school one. The headband, Sokka's master, the beach, which was 5.
Puppet Master?
Puppet Master.
No, not Puppet Master. Because the bloodbending one was after that. Because I never saw Puppet Master on the DVD. We've got.
Is the one where they all do the scams and do insurance?
No, that was after that too. Let's see, Sokka's master.
It's so
the
funny.
Headband.
Well, everyone was listening to you. I happened to glance at James, and he was just sitting there like he didn't approve of everything you were saying. He was like, no.
What random? Oh, right. My least favorite episode of book 3, The Painted Lady. That was the third one.
That's your least favorite episode?
Oh,
book-
that was my 3 favorite characters, though.
Don't you mean your favorite character?
No, my 3 favorite characters.
3 favorites.
Listen, just because he has a Steam account doesn't mean you gotta call him 3 separate characters.
My favorite episode of book 3 is the one they never made and had to release as a comic later, which is the one where Sokka actually signs up for the Fire Nation military.
Yeah.
And he pretends to be Wang Fire. And at first he keeps getting in trouble. And they don't like him at all, so they keep giving him crappy jobs, like cleaning out the stables and stuff. But while he's doing that, he overhears them talking about some evil plan. So he's like, I gotta go warn everybody. So he goes back to where the gang is hiding, but they follow him. And he's like, oh gosh, what are we gonna do? We can't fight a whole army. So Toph, Katara, and Aang all bend water and earth and all this stuff to make it look like, oh, evil water benders and earth benders. There's a whole army of them in the cave. And
Don't go in there.
Sokka, in his disguise as Wang Fire, tells the military, don't worry, I'll take them out. And they're like, you can't, there's so many of them, because they're acting like there's a ton of them in there, right? And he's like, I can do it. And he runs and charges in, and then they cause a cave in. So it looks like they all died in the fight. And so the military's like, he gave his life
For the Fire
Nation. You recruit Wang Fire. Private Five. And they like throw a funeral for him, and they're all like
And that's how the
saluting.
comic ends on his
Yeah,
funeral.
the comic ends getting like a hero's funeral with full honors. And to this day, I'm so annoyed they didn't make that episode. Like that's just perfect.
To finish what I was saying, I had the DVD which had the first 5 episodes, and I watched the crap out of it. Even if I didn't understand why the beach was focusing so hard on Azula, that felt weird as a kid.
Yeah, well, you hadn't fully hit puberty yet.
Anyway. So you'd think, okay.
I'm saying because they had teen problems and you didn't get them. What? What did you think I was implying?
I don't know. Anyway, you think, okay, so I watched the show only from there. No, I did not. Because, I don't know how, but I guess having the first 5 episodes on DVD to watch over and over again meant I stopped caring about actually keeping up with the show as it was on air. So the next time I watch book 3, follow me on this. The next time I watch book 3 is when I see the trailer for the final batch of episodes, which start after the invasion failed.
You didn't even know the invasion.
No, from my perspective, the invasion never happened. From my point of view, the invasion was evil. Anyway, so, and get
You
this,
sweet
the
soul
trailer
child.
just outright says that Zuko's gonna join the group, and I remember it plays the, I think it's time I joined your group. And so I was like, oh, okay, I guess he's joining Team Avatar, that's cool.
That's weird. What's this Azula girl I barely know have to say about?
Actually, I watched The Beach, so I knew her pretty well by that point. But, so I was like, okay, I guess I should sit here for the final batch of episodes. What are we calling it? Oh, okay, the Sozin's Comet episodes. Gotcha. And then for the rest of that summer, I made sure to catch Zuko joining the gang, Zuko and Aang go on their field trip for fucking Dragon Animal Crossing hatching. Zuko and Sokka storm a prison that's so important. It gets 2 episodes. None of the girls get 2 episodes with Zuko. Only Sokka does.
Can I just say how funny it is to me that we were asked about our relationships with Avatar, and Ryoma goes in being like, oh, you know, I was just a kid, but the show and all of this has made me a better person. And then Kao is like filled with affirmations and gratitude and whimsicalness. And then I'm like, I just got this crazy industry story. Like, you're not even going to believe it. And I trolled things. And then James is like, I didn't even watch it until I was an adult. And then Kate is like, nothing makes sense. Everything is arbitrary. But that's what the world is like, so I didn't mind it.
Sokka and Zuko spend 2 episodes, because only Sokka gets 2 episodes of Zuko, breaking people out of jail, both of which are Sokka's, like, priority, his girlfriend and his dad. And,
I love that you were, like, just so you was so uncritical of what you were watching, that even out of order, nothing making sense, you were just like, yeah.
Well, never underestimate the value of previously on Avatar.
Yeah.
It filled me in on everything I needed to know, and I didn't question it. And then Zuko and Katara go on everyone's favorite archive of my own adventure, where they go and find, I forget the name of the episode, but go and find the man who murdered Katara's mom. Now, I need you to understand something.
Southern Raiders.
Thank you, the Southern Raiders. I need you to understand something. You know how there was one episode that established this little thing, it never became important again, but we call it bloodbending.
You missed that one.
Anyway, so,
Oh my
for this episode, and this episode only, they bring bloodbending back. But it's from Zuko's perspective. So he has no idea what the fuck Katara's doing.
So
And
you
from
had
my
the same reaction as
wait. From my perspective, I'm like, since when could Katara use the Force? Why am I watching Star Wars all of a sudden?
Zuko had the same reaction. You were like, what? She can just do that?
And then she never did it again. So I was like, okay, that was weird, I guess.
Zuko and Kate both stayed up late at night being like, what was that? Like,
Wait,
I was like, what is Katara doing, and why is it putting such emphasis? Anyway, she never did it again, so I didn't question it. And then we're done with Katara. So
how much more can there be?
Well, I don't know. There's 5 episodes
You're
left.
watching Kaleidoscope.
Technically, I'm watching this all in order as it was released. Then we get everybody's favorite recap episode, the Ember Island Players. And then I remember you had to wait, I think, an extra week for Sozin's Comet to actually premiere. And here's the funny thing about Sozin's Comet. I don't know if any of you remember, Sozin's Comet didn't premiere weekly. They showed all of Sozin's Comet at once in a 4-episode premiere
It was a
marathon.
special, yeah.
Yeah, it was a special.
I was going to be at my family's lake house during this premiere.
Wow.
For
Rad.
once, I was not going to miss the actual premiere. I decided Sozin's Comet was too important to miss. Fun fact about my parents' lake house. In the year of our Lord, 2007, Wi-Fi
2008, I
was
think that
easily to
was.
come by,
2008.
especially if you live on a lake.
Either way, he didn't have Wi-Fi on the lake then.
So we had Dish TV.
He's from a more rural area, to be fair.
It was a rural area too. We had Dish TV at the time. Now this is fine. Actually, no, it was DirecTV at this point.
Oh, you
Now
gotta mention it.
DirecTV, I'm sure you remember, used to have a box. They don't have a box anymore now. But they had the satellite and they had the box. Fun
Now it's
fact.
beamed directly into your brain through 5G, so they can mind control you.
Yeah,
True.
or if you're an Elon fan, computer
The
chips.
Neuralink, yeah.
But because this is the year of our Lord 2007, the Dish box would overheat. So if you watched it too much, the show would just go away.
So you're telling me when Ozai is like burning all of the Earth Kingdom,
The Dish box was under constant threat of overheating.
so
So
Ozai's burning
because my parents knew, because this was a known thing that sometimes the Dish thing would overheat if we watched it too much, and because my parents knew that I did not want to miss a single aspect of this, and I think my dad was watching it with me, maybe my grandfather too, but my dad definitely was. So my parents come up with a solution. Let's take the fan that we have on the outside balcony to keep the bugs from flying in and just point it at the Dish box and hope it works.
airbending to stop the firebending.
And
you were living the finale.
And
you
it
were
worked.
watching
I mean,
you
it
were
worked.
living it.
It worked. And I remember thinking, wow, I'm so much more invested in whatever the heck Zuko and Azula are doing, despite having none of the history.
I have a question. When your dad brought the fan to help you out, did you say, "Thank you, Father Lord"?
No, I did not say
From
that.
now on, lie and say that's what you said. I'm editing your story as that. Right?
Thank you, Father Lord.
There you go.
Dad, you mean the Fire Lord. That's what I just said! So, anyway, the show ends, and I'm satisfied. And so, what? 10 years go by? Maybe, no, more like
100
12.
years passed.
I think maybe like 12 years passed.
112 years passed.
Pretty much, yes.
And Carrie
And-
discovered the rest of the Avatar episodes.
Suddenly, people are on my YouTube feed because YouTube became a thing when Avatar came up. Anyway, people started going on about like, did you know that Zuko's mom, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, all I know about Zuko's mom is that Korra tried to debate us in the first episode. What are you talking about, Zuko's mom? And they're like, oh, that's cool. We actually know what happened to Zuko's mom. Let me look it up. Yeah, okay. That's all right. I guess that's fine. A few more years later, I've met Lucia by this point. Hey, you want to read the Avatar comics? Like, yeah, sure, let's read the Avatar comics. Why not? Read it. And I'm like, wow. Why did these comics make Zuko such a... I had to censor myself there, but that was my quote
A
verbatim.
weak leader.
Yes. Yes. He came off slightly underqualified, if
How
you may.
is your camera frozen?
No, she's just that good.
It was frozen for a moment on this, and you were making this face. And it looked like you were like judging
was.
Kane, like in that southern way.
I
Like,
was.
like you were like, "Oh, bless your
I
heart,
was.
honey. I'll pray for you."
Cow, my tea is too sweet for your Texas
As you
living
can see,
soul.
we have a very colorful casting crew with very disparate life experiences, and I think that's what helps us recreate Avatar and contribute new stories to the universe. Is that we are also a whole bunch of mismatched, crazy
Yes.
kids.
You want to know what probably my favorite moment in the Avatar fandom was?
But
When we were talking amongst some of our friends, and people were like, you know, blah, 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 blah. She's pretty. I had a crush on this girl. And I just joined the comments like, yeah, actually, I had a crush on Toph back in the day. And then Rhyme just goes, she is a child. And I go, I I was a child! And he's like, oh, that's fair, you're right.
Not creepy to crush on her when you were also that age. That's fair.
Yeah.
Hi, baby.
Valid.
Also, I would like to state for the record that now that I have seen the whole show, as well as The Legend of Korra, as well as all the work that I've done for Book 4 Air, that was still the best joke in the show, in the franchise.
Oh yeah, I will
I
say.
don't disagree.
Humor peaked in
I will
episode
say-
I
1.
disagree. I think the best joke in the entire franchise is the part where Toph purposely gets hit by a cart, right, by a carriage, right? And then Sokka comes out pretending to be a police officer. So felony on top of felony. And not only does Sokka harass these innocent people into bribing him, but he does not accept the first bribe or the second bribe. He does not. He is relentless until they fill his arms with gold, and only then does fake cop Sokka go. And that is the best joke in the entire Avatar franchise. And the best part of this episode is that Katara's been the moral compass this whole time, being like, this is a bad idea, you're stealing from people, which is wrong, but on top of it, this is gonna call attention, you need to stop, whole time. And everyone's just like nag at her. And eventually, the lesson, because Katara ends up being like, all right, Toph, let's do one last scam, you and me. And they immediately get caught, but then they break out, so it's fine. And younger me watching this was like, so the lesson is it's okay to pull scams. Just make sure you have your buddy dressed as a cop in case you get caught. Because the moment they did it without Sokka, they got caught.
I will say, since you went with me on that journey, I have
It's a three-man
since
job.
gone back and watched the entire series just in full, so I've seen every episode now. I will say, I don't know if I have a favorite joke out of the whole show, but I do get a kick out of when even the first watch Brian plays stood out to me, where it's like, they make me look totally stiff and humorless. Actually, I think that actor's pretty spot on.
I think that actor's pretty spot on.
How could you say that?
Let's forget about the Avatar and get massages.
How could you say that? Then Kitty was like, I guess he got him pretty good.
One of my favorite jokes made up by this project was we had this like OC we made up as we make up like fake characters just to laugh about sometimes. We're never gonna be in the project.
Is it who I think it is?
We made up a rival for Sokka named Soren.
Yes.
Like we didn't even put thought into the name. Like his name's Soren. He's from the Southern Water Tribe. And the joke was that, what was it? He was just slightly
He was slightly old enough to actually go with the
go
men
with
to
the
fight.
men while Sokka was left behind. So when Soren comes back, he's always giving Sokka crap, right? Like you didn't even go to war, right? And so we're like, this is his enemy. Like Sokka has to defeat Soren, even though it's petty stuff, right? Like, they're not actually in danger. And so Soren became like a big character. We kept making up memes about Soren.
We
like,
kept making jokes that while the Southern Water Tribe is rebuilding, Soren and Sokka get into fights. They destroy stuff, and Akoda's like, "Hey!" And they're like,
And so we had all these jokes about him. Some of us get invited to go to the premiere of Natla at the Egyptian Theater in LA. So we go, and of course, promptly I acted I was professional. I gave a review. It was not nice. I was very honest.
we were advised to
Let it be known, if you hire me for anything, I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to glaze you if I don't. If I think it's great, I'll give you all the great stuff. Do not hire me to review something if you want me to glaze it. I'm incapable. I'm physically incapable. Anyway, we watch it.
Critique my
And while
project.
we're watching it, hey, I'll be honest. If I think it's amazing, I'll say so.
she'll be so honest that they'll advise her to soften it.
Yeah, I did get advice to soften my review, and I didn't. I bet they're not going to invite me to another premiere anytime soon, or maybe they will. Who knows? Anyway, so we're watching it, and in that premiere episode, they added this boy who's slightly younger than Sokka that keeps kind of trying to be important. And I don't know why they added this character. He didn't add anything to the story, but he's there. And while we're watching it in the hush of the theater, Kate, who's sitting next to me, leans over and goes, "Soren lives." And I could not take the rest of the movie seriously because I just couldn't stop laughing that Soren was real. So we get home. Several of us went, but obviously not all of us could go to the premiere. And so when we get home, all of us that watched it are giving our impressions and our feedback and our thoughts. And my favorite thing was telling people that Soren is real, that Natla made Soren canon. And everyone thought I was just like joking or whatever. They're like, okay, Lucy. I was like, I'm serious, Soren in it. And they're like, okay. When it finally comes out and we all watch it live on stream and everyone's like, Soren lives! Like
It's like the Leo DiCaprio meme where it's like,
yeah, everyone's like, she wasn't lying. Like, there he is. Anyway, now you all are a part of this. Now you know about Soren. So drop your Soren headcanons in chat for Robert. Drop your Soren.
oh, no, I remember why we named him Soren. I'm
What?
totally not making this up on the spot. He's soaring because Sokka's a tigeradillo that can't fly.
I think that was a joke. I think we literally just stole it from Fire Emblem.
We totally stole it.
I think we were
Soren's
just...
the only Fire Emblem character you liked.
It's true. No, I like Ike.
Well, yeah, the one that Soren likes.
He fights for his friends. Anyway,
I would like
Who's
to
sure?
ask the group, do we think that The Divide is a bad episode, or do we think it's a bad episode because they played it on reruns, like, ad nauseum?
I think The Great Divide is a victim of two things. One, like you said, it was the standalone one that got rerun a lot, so we're all sick of it. But I think it's also a victim of a second thing. And that is that up until that point, Aang has been presented as this like incredibly wise and righteous character that even though he can be avoidant and goofy, he's a good guy. The worst thing he's ever done is maybe take the fan club a little bit too hard, you know, be a little too indulgent in it.
Yeah, Bato the Water
But for
Tribe
the-
hasn't come out yet. I don't think.
But for the most part, he's very, very noble and good, and he hasn't done anything bad. And I think a lot of people used to watching children's shows were very put off by the fact that Aang resolved the conflict with a lie and that there was no consequence. And I think that this is unfortunate because I don't think that the point of the message is lying is good, but rather that sometimes conflicts amongst people happen for historical reasons where no one even remembers the truth or if these events even happened. And so we're literally fighting over a game of telephone that might have even been a myth for all we know. The harms dealt to our ancestors, we don't know what really happened. And so Aang's solution was just to be like, nah, it wasn't that big a deal. I was there. And everyone just kind of accepts it because deep down,
They're tired
know
of
what-
fighting.
They're tired of fighting, you know, and it just gave them an out. But I think because it was a Y7 show that had to present this in a silly way, that people kind of took it and were like, that's kind of a bad
Dang, you
lesson.
If
gaslighter. You.
I may,
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
is,
I like
this
that
is when
he's-
the Zutara fans were like, he's a gaslighter.
that was infinite fuel for them. That is. If I may, since we're talking about the Great Divide, I view it as, in my opinion, each book has that one episode that's just not as high up for quality as the others. I don't personally think this is my hottest take. I can tell you my hottest Avatar episode take, but that'll be for later. I think for book 1, it's the Great Divide. It's the one everybody always talks about. For book 3, I kind of mentioned earlier, I think the Painted Lady is the weak episode of that book. For book 2, and James and I are not in agreement on this, in my opinion, the weak episode of book 2 is the Cave of Two Lovers.
I actually do agree that Katara and Aang's plot is weaker in that, although it is very cute. But I mean, I just vibe too much with Sokka being stuck with a bunch of hippies that keep almost killing them. And you're the one person, like, I love that.
Now, I will
That's
admit,
so
and
good.
and Secret
J-
Tunnel is an unadulterated bop. So
And
As a person with OCD that regularly works with people with ADHD, that's what that feels like. Like, that's what that feels like. You're sitting there being like, we got to get out. And you're like freaking out about it and trying to itemize your options. And the ADHD people are like, what if we light all the torches at the same time? You're like, no!
I'm
like that, they're all at
the same
time. No,
I'm
I
so sorry.
I love you. But I, you know what I mean? I kind of, I'm not like Sokka. I don't take it as hard as him. Not anymore. I'm too old and tired. But you know what I mean? Like,
I will give James credit. Secret Tunnel is a bop, and I like when Sokka's like, Badger Mole's trying to eat me. Come on, guys, help me out!
we actually wrote a full-length version of Secret Tunnel, huh, James?
We sure did. Unreleased, work in progress.
It even has the "and die" part in it. So we didn't leave it out. A lot of fan versions of it leave out the "and die." But we did it. We did it.
Is it okay if I say, for the longest time, our role of Chong was kind of cursed?
We don't gotta talk about that. You don't gotta talk.
We got a
Realma, your
solid
mic's
chong
really quiet.
nowadays.
Your
He's-
mic is super quiet, Realma.
Oh yeah, I can't hear
It's just
Realma.
very quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really quiet. Yeah.
He's in an iceberg for real.
Hold
We lost him.
There he goes.
We
When the world
lost
needed
him.
him most, he vanished.
All right,
There
we'll
he
see him again in
comes.
112 years.
Okay. Yeah. Well. Yep. That's been a rip chat.
Hello? Hello?
What's
Yeah,
chat
still
saying?
soft.
What are they up to?
Oh, we got a
Okay,
chat. I
yeah.
know we had a chat.
We
Yeah.
don't
What do
have a
we?
chat.
No. It's Look.
There's always
chat.
a chat.
There's always a chat.
This is-
Like it's not
There's
just on
always-
Twitch. Okay.
It's in your.
Can you hear me?
It's
We
just
can't.
very muffled
You're
and
very
far away.
muffled.
Did your computer switch your
Oh.
mic without you knowing?
Discord does that sometimes. Discord is a
Uh,
liar sometimes.
Bong.
Nope, it's the same
Hey,
one.
it was
That's
either
weird.
Discord. Look, to be fair, it was either Discord or have to keep going through Zoom stuff. So
No, that's fair. It's not your fault that nothing works anymore.
It was
this person.
either Discord or Datcord.
We live in that kind of dystopia where like
Yeah.
everything is super advanced, but none of it works.
None of it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
None of it.
I can
We
imagine.
don't live in Star Trek. We live in Firefly, unfortunately.
We live in a world where we can shoot missiles from the comfort of our home, and yet the coffee machine will break if the door doesn't shut completely correctly.
Hello?
Did you ever
don't-
notice? Oh, I can.
Oh.
Ryoma,
Real-
Hello?
say something. Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey,
Something.
Better.
Say
Better,
something.
yeah.
Much
Better.
better,
how's it
actually.
going? It's the cable.
Oh,
That explains it.
Cable is
that
amazing.
explains everything.
At least it's much
Please.
easier than
Comments.
just crashing, Zoom crashing out.
Yeah.
Ditch
Kate's comment
cable and
about-
upgrade to DirecTV.
But no,
Kate's
what were you
comment
gonna
about
say?
sending
Yeah.
missiles from your from the comfort of your home reminded me of so I was in a project called 11 Reflections, and it was basically it would gather all of these like community testimonies, community stories about the impact of 9/11 on life and person and community, etc. And then I would write for that project, and then we also performed things. It was like a live production. But in that production, I learned kind of like the sad truth behind a lot of these like military based games is that they are used to train drone models for the military. Like they gather the data that is used in these essentially like war video games like Call of Duty and things like that. And they use that data, like they sell it to the government and the government uses it to train military drone technology. And so I ended up writing a poem that was in 11 Reflections called War Games, and it kind of juxtaposed the playing of a video game and like the lighthearted fun and like the sense of accomplishment and like you're leveling up versus like the harsh reality of what war means for those on the ground. It just made me think of that. Random tangent.
You're hugely talented.
No,
You
you
really are. Do you have any more questions for us, boss man?
Trying to think of the next question without it going like over 5 hours.
Sorry, we're chatty. Voice actors
Yeah.
tend to be chatty.
Yeah,
If
you've
not,
got
I
you've
have-
got a lot of material.
I'm sorry, I cannot hear Kate. What was that?
What did you say, Kate?
I said, if not, I have a possible suggestion if it hasn't been mentioned before I got here.
What is your suggestion?
What is everyone here's hottest avatar take?
Oh, okay.
Who wants to
I
start?
suppose you already got mine.
With the,
About-
I was about to say you think the
No.
joke peaked at
Yes.
episode 1.
I think
Yeah.
that is hilarious.
What are your guys' hottest?
Well, actually, on a more serious note, the show gets a lot of much-deserved respect for respecting and incorporating cultures from all around the world, particularly East Asia. And I feel like the soundtrack, comparatively, is still very Western orchestral. Part of that has a lot to do with just the market at the time and
Budget. Budget
yeah,
too.
budget and just time constraints in general, because music is usually the last thing to get done. I think like their production schedule for music was like they would get the episode like fully cut and paste, and the music would have to be written, reviewed, and approved within a week. Like they had a week from getting their material and the episode airing. So that means they had to write the full episode in 3 or 4 days, and then have a day or two for review and mixing before the final render. So I do understand how that could affect how much research the Jeremy Zuckerman and Benjamin Wynn were able to do. But still, it always struck me as odd that like the world music instruments that you would find throughout the soundtrack just sort of seemed sprinkled in, not too much connection between the instruments used and the cultures of the nations. Like the duduk features prominently throughout the Avatar soundtrack, particularly for like the Blue Spirit theme. It's using the Sindhi horn. And that instrument,
which is Armenian, right?
Armenian, yeah. And Armenia is like what, Southwest Asia, almost Europe. A far cry from many of like the Japan and China and Korea and like the Inuits that a lot
India,
of the shows.
don't forget India.
And India, yeah. Even further west than India.
And
Don't
Thailand.
forget about India.
Yeah.
Of India.
All right, what's your hottest take, Cal? Your hottest Avatar take?
Part of it is my brain doesn't seek out controversy, so
Well, it doesn't necessarily need to be controversial.
Yeah.
Just one that people haven't necessarily thought of or said before.
I mean, this one is kind of a known one, but I do stand by it, is that I fundamentally disagree that Toph would be a cop. That's just something I'm strongly about, and as somebody who has done a lot of like character analysis and like deep dives into the psychology of Toph and how to portray her, I fundamentally disagree with the idea that Toph would become a cop or any type of authoritarian. I think like that is very clearly a misunderstanding of who Toph is and what she stands for, and how her lived experience has shaped her perspective and who she is.
I don't get why they didn't just make Lynn the cop, and that could have been the reason that her and Toph didn't get along, right?
Yeah, and it could have even been like a natural progression of like taking the. I think Toph being a teacher is kind of makes sense. I think that that's perfectly fine, and I think it's sharing, that thing that only she can do with the world, and it gives her a way to engage with the world, whereas her previous lifestyle with her parents kept her so permitted to even see the world and engage with the outside world. And then her time with the game kind of expands her and gives her that taste of freedom and basically the control over her own life and the ability to chart her own destiny. And so I think that choosing to teach us is like an extension of that, and that makes a lot of sense. So I could see, like you said, I could see Lynn being the one who takes the in a more, almost like responding with order to Toph's chaos in a way, like
she wanted more structure as a child.
yeah, exactly. Than seeking out more structure or seeking the way that he gets disaster or he gets disorder and causes chaos and stuff in certain ways. So I can see a child taking that and structure. But I just think that person, as well as I don't think that ever
I guess while we're on the topic of their adult side, I think the whole ending up being a bad father in Korra is incredibly cynical. And,
yes, thank you. Yes.
and like, especially if people say that it makes sense because of his responsibilities and stuff, but this guy lost everything, and I wouldn't I could not believe it. That same person wouldn't give anything to just spend time with his family, like every inch, like in the comics, he spends time with Katara nonstop. He's like even if he takes him in her in his jobs, and like I
Do you
don't know.
that it's inherently a writing issue, or do you think it was an execution issue? Because when this subject always comes up, I always can't help but think that on paper, the idea that Aang, who'd grown up without a traditional family unit, might not understand what is being expected and might give all the love, in his heart, but it might not read to kids whose mother is from a way more traditional family-oriented, even extended family culture like the Water Tribe, especially Southern Water Tribe, and it might not translate. So to them, they're seeing Dad isn't doing the dad thing, but to Aang, he's like, well, that to me is like I thought that could make sense. Me personally, I think the biggest problem is the execution, because while I could see this conflict being won accidentally, you would hope that by the time the kids become adults and have life experience, they've understood this. I think the reason it kind of comes off harsher than they probably intended is that the kids are still arguing about it as old people, not even adults, but they're old at this point, and they're still crying about Dad gave you more attention than me. And it's the sort of thing where you're like, if this really was what you seem to want to suggest, it's not that Aang is a bad father, but that his understanding of family is different from theirs, and that maybe in childhood they didn't see it the same way, you'd think they wouldn't still be fighting about it. And I think the other problem with it is that Katara is such a non-character in this conflict that I think that also kind of makes our brains light up that that doesn't make sense. Because, like, if this was really happening and the kids felt that Aang favored one kid over the others, where is Katara?
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't she have said something, intervened in some way? And it's very strange that she never comes up in the kids' stories except for Kaya to say, I'm the only one that moved in with her after Dad died. Like, Katara is a completely passive character in her family, basically just in the background. And I think the combination of Katara sounding like a non-character in her family and the kids still holding on to this way past the point where they should have grown out of it creates a picture of the divide in the family that I don't think they intend. And here's where I want to tell everyone, some people are great at coming up with ideas, but not everyone is a writer. And I'm not saying this to put you down, but rather to understand when you are the one that should be writing your story and when you should be hiring someone to write your ideas and execute them for you. This is actually one of the most valuable things you can do as a project coder and showrunner. Look at George Lucas, like, his ideas are great. I will stand by them. The prequel trilogy's ideas are fantastic. He really should have hired a writer to write the movies for him and make his ideas come to life.
If I can piggyback off of what Lucia said about the execution, I could get behind, with, like you said, a proper execution, maybe the execution that would give him tell a different story than maybe was intended. But I think my understanding of Aang and Katara, and honestly, I think Korra does a lot of elements of character depth to the initial game and the way that we were shown as adults that I don't necessarily agree is congruent. But that aside, I think it feels a little flimsy to me because we see even someone like Aang who grew up with the monks, he still has this innate warmth to him. He has friends all over the world. You hear his stories about Kuzan and Bumi and all of his friends and all over the world and other places that he visits. And not all of those friends are necessarily benders. And while I do think that there is a really strong hold to airbending is to I also think as the Avatar, he has the lens to look at things from a worldly perspective. He has the capacity, because he's had to look at things as not just one nation, but as a whole, as the sum of the parts, as more than just the pieces together. I think he's never shown, even to Sokka, like never shown prejudice to people who don't bend. I don't think he's always had this very wide-eyed, open lovingness, where he's like, wow, that's so cool, wow, you're so awesome, and he sees the good in people, regardless of even what they see in themselves. like his willingness to believe in Zuko from the moment he met him. Aang was the one who was constantly pushing for that friendship. Pushing for, isn't there another way? This can't be the way. Even when Zuko has tried to kill him and capture him on repeated numerous occasions. Even then, him saving him and being like, I just wish we could be friends. I just don't want to be friends. This is wrong. This can't be the right way. And so I don't see how that would not translate to him. I can't believe it. And then I strongly feel that there is a ginormous dynamic because Katara is a very strong character. She's very outspoken, and her presence is felt even if she wouldn't be off screen. If she wouldn't be on screen, in the t-shirt, the way she talks to people, and just, like all of those things are very visible.
And they're lacking.
Exactly, like the presence of Katara is lacking, and I think even more than Aang, I think she's more outspoken, more vocal.
She's the only one that doesn't get a statue.
Yeah,
Everyone
and I
else has
think
a
that in of
statue.
itself is crazy.
Yeah.
I think Aang was the more soft-spoken. Aang was the more one more likely to bite his tongue, or has a little bit of a soft personality. Katara was very much like her temper would get the better of her. She would flare up, she would say what she felt, what she meant with her chest. Even if it wasn't convenient, even if it wasn't diplomatic. So I don't believe that Katara would feel so much presence.
My hot
And
take
if-
is brief. Do you want to hear it? I will not be extrapolating upon it, and I will not be taking comments or constructive criticism at this time. My hot take is that Zuko may have been the better person, but Azula was definitely the better sibling. That's it.
Yeah, I agree with that, actually. I wholeheartedly agree with that.
I will not be taking comments at this time. Done. Not explaining myself.
I guess that leaves me with mine.
Yeah, what's your hot take?
So I got two, but one is more just on the show itself, and the other one's steeped in a little bit more fandom, so I'll go with that one. It always gets wacky. Probably my hot take, which I don't think I could have had I watched the show normally, but I didn't, so I haven't. I personally do not like bloodbending, and I do not consider the Puppet Master a good episode. I think that, for my experience, I didn't watch that episode. And even with the one, 2-second cameo it really gets in the Southern Raiders, I never felt like I was missing something important. And upon watching the episode, it feels like it's supposed to be this monumental moment for Katara that she can never go back from. Now, if you exclude Korra, minus that one time where she does it to the wrong dude in the Southern Raiders, which she doesn't even reflect on, really. She never reflects on this. Bloodbending basically doesn't exist for the rest of the show. You could cut out that entire episode, and in my opinion, nothing really
It's
changes.
because they broke the power scaling for it by letting Githam and his kids do it.
Yeah, if we go into Korra, it gets even worse, where bloodbending does become the Force. And even if you did exclude that, Katara quite literally walks it back by just mass banning it across the United Republic.
You know what I thought bloodbending was going to mean to the plot when I was watching the show in real time? I thought that was going to be how they fixed Aang's blocked chakra. I thought that Katara was going to realize that healing wasn't dumb after all, and that she could embrace both her healing side and her warrior side, and she was going to use bloodbending in a new way rather than to hurt people, but to cure the blockage in Aang's chakra. That's what I thought was going to happen, and it was going to be a different way to overcome that blockage. And then it didn't happen, and he just kind of hits a rock, and I was like, okay. I mean, I had an idea too, but that's fine.
I like your idea better.
You are professional writers, I'm just a kid.
I mentioned bloodbending specifically in the context of Avatar. If we open the door to Korra, please do not get me started on how much I despise lava bending in its entirety in Korra. I have gone
Kate is
on.
a power scaler. He has a lot of opinions about this stuff.
I used to call myself a power scaler, but now power scalers have gotten so elite, I don't even like that term.
Are you saying it's over power scalers? I have the moral high ground.
I have the common sense ground.
There you go. There's our Avatar hot takes.
Okay. First, I'm actually going to share my Avatar kind of history, and then I'm gonna go to my hot takes.
Yeah.
And I'm trying not to. Okay, because I already know we're like 3 hours over, so I'm just gonna make it quick. So I did not grow up with the show. I was a SpongeBob, Fairly Odd Parents, like kind of Cartoon Network, the wacky, zany, all that stuff kid. So when I saw that Avatar was like action, and it was kind of like I didn't even know at the time that it was anime. It was super serious and stuff. I was like, no, I'm good. That's why I kind of missed out on Batman, as you can see, right? Let me see. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so that's why I also missed out on Batman growing up, but I did watch Animaniacs and, all those shows like that. Also, Andrea Romano. So, oh, what?
It's just my phone as Batman.
Oh my gosh, wow. I was like, wait, what
That's
is...
totally not a
Okay.
sticker from a doctor's office. No, why would you say that?
I mean, hey, you never know what
You went to
kind of
the
miracles...
Batman doctor?
You went to... Yeah, you went to a doctor in Gotham City. That's your secret. That's your fun fact.
Oh my god, you and John Mulaney have the same doctor.
For
We have
real.
the same doctor. He has glasses now to show that time has passed.
So yeah, anyways, just fast forward to like I think 2016 or 17 that I started watching the show, and I in the course of 2020, because what else are you supposed to do during a pandemic? I binged it
Real.
on Nickelodeon, not Nickelodeon, on Netflix, and then I was watching it on my own spare time, just rewatching every episode over and over again, and I really like it is one of those shows where it's like you absolutely love it, but this is where my hot take comes in. I really, it's not that I don't think it's overrated per se, but it's more like I think the influence of the show. Let me see, how can I put this? Like, it really is an amazing show. However, it's kind of one of those shows where it's like it really inspired a lot of other shows that tried their best to have that Avatar just kind of storytelling, the feel, and just have this episodic, type of, format. But there really hasn't really been a show that was really quite able to capture it in a way.
That
So
lightning in a bottle, yeah.
that lighting in a bottle. So it's like I'm not saying that it's bad, but I'm just saying that like we've had a lot of very mediocre shows that don't really quite really capture it. Like I'll just name one show. And not that I think that is bad, but it's not really for me. But I don't know if y'all watched like the She-Ra series that came out on like Netflix.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, I have so much to say about it. But the main thing is like it really wants to be this a show that is like it has a lot of themes where it really highlights that like I appreciate it for just giving like a lot more representation, and also doggy a lot more representation towards like uh like so many different communities like LGBT or so on and so forth, that who just hey,
Oh,
He's
it's
back.
Heidi.
she's back.
Yeah, I wasn't sure.
Hi,
if,
Heidi.
Yeah, we're
missed
still
you.
going.
Yeah, we kind of missed you. Your presence was very missed. But hey, we got everybody again. So hey, I was just about to share my Avatar kind of hot takes, and then I was gonna pass the floor to you to basically discuss your involvement with the series, your history with Avatar, and so forth. But let me finish.
And your Avatar hot take.
Yeah, my
I
Avatar
think you're
hot take is
frozen,
like,
Lucia. I hear
No,
you, but I
she's-
can't. Like the image hasn't moved. No.
she's
No?
moving to me.
Oh
fine on
no,
me.
she's good. You're good
it's
now.
moving
Yeah,
with
she's
me.
fine to me. Yeah.
I can see you
Yeah.
now. Yeah. Sorry. I think
Yeah,
that
I
might just been on my end. My bad.
Here, I'm gonna take care of the dog real quick. Here, Kate. I'm
Okay,
gonna
sure
take care of
thing.
the puppy while everyone continue. I'm just gonna
Yeah,
go
I'll
take
just
care of my dog.
continue.
real quick. I'll be back.
But yeah, I was just saying regarding Avatar, just the overall influence is like, I don't think that Avatar is a bad show, but like by no means necessary. But it's like its influence has kind of inspired like a couple of projects that aren't really quite as good. Like I was just talking about She-Ra with basically with its storytelling. Like my main issue is that like it has an idea, but its execution isn't really fully realized in a way. Like, cool, you have like LGBT representation and stuff like that, but like it kind of really lacks a lot of the meat that really made Avatar such a phenomenal series. And that's kind of the same way as how I feel with The Legend of Korra, because in a way, I kind of think that Korra is kind of worse because it's a direct continuation of Avatar, and it's made by the same people that gave us the classic Avatar. And but I'm not saying that everything in Korra is terrible, but it's like, let's just be real. There's like a lot of
There
romance
were
that is
some
just
writing choices, yeah.
there's a lot of I have some very choice words towards some of the writing choices they made on the show, like romance, the bloodbending, which I think Cade, you mentioned that. I was actually just gonna say
Lava
that too.
bending.
Yeah, bloodbending. I just never really liked it, even as a kid. Like when I first watched it, I was like, oh, I think because personally to me, like, and call me a full-on good conservative Christian, whatever, but it just kind of doesn't really feel right in my spirit just seeing people's blood just twist and stuff. And this is why I don't really watch, like, and it's kind of ironic because what I'm doing right now is kind of has some horror in it, but I just don't like it when people are just like possessed or, taken over. Like there's a lot of ghosts. I
Gratuitous
just don't really
violence and
gratuitous
yeah.
violence and stuff like that. So that's why whenever something like the Puppet Master, that episode, whenever that comes up, I'm like, ugh, it's just kind of, I just don't like stuff like that where you have to see people's skin. No, that's just not me. I just don't like stuff like that. So I'm just
That's
really
fair.
glad you brought it up
Valid.
because that would be my hot take, but you kind of stole it from me. So here's my actual hot take that I kind of have for Avatar. I mean, outside of the influence that I mentioned, but my legit hot take, it's this. I don't want to say that Katara is a terrible character, but I have to say she's kind of my least favorite.
That is a hot take. Wild.
Yeah, so let me explain. Because you have, okay,
Yeah, please.
like each of the characters have flaws, right? So, because it's important for each of the heroes to just have, like, different because no hero is perfect without their flaws, right? I mean, even Aang is not really perfect. But for Katara, I think the more that I think about it, the more I'm like, oh, I don't know if I don't think she's really. How can I put this? Like, it's the more that you watch the series, the more I'm like, huh, I don't know if I really like Katara as like a respectable or like even as a role model for Aang or Sokka or whoever she's with, because I don't think that, because with her ideology and just her beliefs, it's like, yeah, she's, nice and kind and everything, but still, I kind of don't really think that, because with episodes like The Painted Lady, it just shows like her just, it just really shows off some of her worst traits, just being kind of taking on a new personality, and most importantly, it's something that kind of completely goes against what her character is supposed to be. And honestly, when if even somebody like Zuko or Zula kind of has more of like, there's like a sense of moral ground. I mean, Katara just kind of, and especially as we see in Korra, where it's like, yeah, like she only just does bloodbending just that one other time, but it's like, and that's also another reason why I don't like that episode. It's like, not that I don't like it, but it's like, what? It doesn't really leave much of an impact in the long run because she only uses it like as a last means resort to defeat, the I forget her name, like Hama, was it?
Hama.
Hama, yeah. So she just does it once, and then it gets outlawed, and
By her.
nothing by her exactly, and it doesn't, nothing really. There's no like big like payoff. There's no like contributions. There's no like long lasting impact. Like nothing really happens. Like you could literally just be like, oh well, this happened, and it's only brought up once, and that's it. Like nothing really kind of. And even with a lot of stuff, it's like, oh, okay, like she learns some lesson, and then it's like it just gets brushed aside because she ends up doing something that's like, I don't know, that is morally questionable in a way, but it's kind of, yeah, you kind of get a sense of like when a character does something bad, like learned something from it. But throughout the series, I didn't really feel like the actions of some of the characters don't really leave much of an impact, so they don't really learn anything. So it's like, okay, so we just wasted an episode just about nothing. Okay, next, moving on. So I think that's kind of another problem. Like, one of the main issues that I sort of had with the original series is like, yeah, they do a lot of these morally questionable actions, but they don't. There's not like consequence that happens towards the end. Like, nothing really happens afterwards. It's just like, oh, okay, well, that happened, so let's just move on.
Could one argue that that's the
that's just-
point,
yeah.
and that sometimes
Exactly.
war doesn't
Yeah,
always
and it's
have
yeah.
perfect.
And plus, it's set
you
in a
know,
war, so yeah.
I mean,
you could
Iroh
argue-
gets to live in the city he sieged for 600 days. That's pretty,
Exactly.
like-
Yeah, I mean, I was about to say that too. Yeah, that
Yeah.
probably would be my other hot take.
Hundreds,
is
if
like,
not thousands, of people died because of him.
You get to live in a city. I don't know if I'm gonna let that slide.
Yeah.
Personally. So that kind of would be my other hot take. But yeah, I think Katara is kind of my least favorite. If not,
That's okay. I'll love her twice as much to make up for you. Don't worry. You're good.
yeah. But
why
if
she went
she's
the
not
blue.
my least favorite character in the show, then kind of my least favorite of the gang
Of the
group,
gang.
as we consider them. So yeah, I guess that's kind of my sorta pseudo hot take. Also, the Iroh thing. That's probably another one.
Fair. My least favorite of the gang is Momo because I know he's evil. He acts cute, but like,
Okay, bro. Like,
know.
Momo can have its moments. It's just I
There's
don't know,
no
man.
moments.
the only
It's
reason
Momo
Momo
moments.
hasn't enacted his evil agenda is because Appa is there to stop him. Like,
Yeah,
Appa's
Yeah.
all that
like,
stands
I
between
will not
us.
abide.
You know who my
sir.
least favorite gang member is?
Who?
Hockey.
Who?
He went out for milk and never came back.
I love Hockey. How dare you?
Wow.
Bro,
How dare you?
uh-uh.
Sokka, Sokka named him after his father, Hakoda Hockey.
Yikes.
Dare you? He's a loving
Uh-uh.
tribute to his father.
Heidi, did
Yes,
you wanna
Heidi's
talk
turn.
about
Tell us,
your
Heidi.
Avatar
Yeah, and
origins,
you can just start
how
your
you got
recording.
into Avatar, and then you
Yeah.
can after that
We want to
you
hear
can,
about
we were doing
Heidi.
Avatar.
We want to
Hot
hear
Take.
all about you and start your recording again if you haven't already.
Okay.
Heidi.
Oh yeah, I've been recording.
Okay,
Also
great.
I have a candy in my mouth, so sorry about that.
Yeah, you
That's all
do.
good.
Be extra sweet.
We love candy.
It's lemon. Anyway.
Ooh.
Sweet
Ooh,
and sour.
I'm not
lemony-
sure if I have.
lemony
a hot
fresh.
take, but,
We were
I
also
think you
talking about our
start with-
experiences with the show, so
Experiences
you can
with
talk
Like
about
how
it.
you got into Avatar or all of that.
Yeah.
And your involvement with the
um,
book for this project.
So
We can start with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so my involvement in book 4, Lucia did kind of brush over it earlier. So Rihanna posted the casting call for Pinga in his server, and I was like, might as well. Looks like fun practice, you know. So I went ahead and recorded it, and then apparently Lucia had this whole thing. They're like, oh, Heidi submitted something, and Lucy was like, who is Heidi? Sorry.
That is what I sound like. I've actually been acting the whole time. This is my real voice.
Why did you think she
Do
was
the
Frieza so
war.
well?
Heidi just exposed me. That's what I really
Oh
sound
my
like.
gosh! Why do you
Oh
sound
my
like Ross?
god.
Why do you sound like Ross from Monsters Inc?
I'm actually supposed to be Dr. Goilfriend from the Venture Bros. That's who I am.
Oh my gosh! Yes. Oh,
It's
we all
not
love
Dr.
that.
Girlfriend's fault.
Where's
You
my?
stink.
I don't smoke cigarettes. I eat them. That's Heidi. I'm here
Cigarettes.
exposing my truth.
Mike Wazowski.
Mike
Who is-
Wazowski.
Mike Wazowski.
That's who I am inside. That's
Yeah.
Honey,
Who
you're
is that?
beautiful the way you are.
Oh
Sorry,
no
go
no no! Wait,
ahead.
Mrs.
Well, anyway,
Big
so it
Head
sounded
from
like,
Mako.
I don't know, like Lucia and John Archer, like, were in the car or something, and then, like, y'all were listening to my thing on the radio or something on the speaker, and John was like, is that Heidi? That's how John sounds.
That is John. That is John Archer.
There's that.
That's how he
That
sounds like.
exactly
That
like.
is-
It's smoother. It's
Hey,
smoother.
God bless
It's
John
more like. It's
Archer.
more like. Is that Heidi? And then everyone's
Is
like,
that
"Oh."
Heidi?
When you talk, it's beautiful.
Is that high?
Is that
And then,
hiding?
yeah, so I don't know, that was a thing, and then, because I feel you, Lucia, I'm, like, also from that background, like, oh, how good she could be, really?
I don't know this person, but you impressed me right away. You need at least one, and ideally both. to be a voice actor. And so, you know, when you get sent voices every day, you get reels from people every day going, please cast me in something. You start to be kind of cynical of like, all right, there's another person to listen.
All right, here's Jason audition number
But
753.
that's why when you hear someone like Heidi, it stands out to you. Because when you hear someone that even when you're sitting there like, there's another one, and you just kind of sit up, like, wait a minute, what am I listening to?
Hold
That's
up,
Heidi.
hold up.
Her vocal presence immediately hits you, and you're like, okay, all right, I'm listening to a real one. Like,
Yeah, she first was cast as Penga, I believe.
yeah, that's what she was saying, the Penga audition.
Yeah. Thank you. So yeah, that was that thing. How I got involved in the project, and yeah, because I'm in Ryama's server and we do the live voice acting streams, and we're gonna do another one next week with the
Yeah,
I don't know what it's called. But yeah, I'm gonna be Zelda in that. Heck yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
We
It
all
was an
stand
Ace Attorney
Zelda in
themed
here.
Ocarina of Time ROM hack.
You should cast Heidi as live action Zelda. Put it out there.
Do
Spread the
it.
petition.
Do it.
Do it.
Heidi for live
Heidi
action Zelda.
supremacy.
She has the acting talent and the looks. Like, look
I
at her.
mean, I'll
Doesn't
do
she
live,
look?
I'll
Come
do
on.
live action Zelda voiceover.
Let her be Zelda.
Yeah.
um,
Let her be Zelda.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Anyway, so as for my experience with Avatar: The Last Airbender, the show, like I grew up watching it. It was on TV, and so like, yeah, I forgot who I was talking to about this. But the funny thing about like when Ty Lee, because like I mean, I like Katara, not like oh my god this character is amazing, but like I like her. So like she was perfectly serviceable main character that I could follow through the story. And then Azula comes in, and I'm like, oh, badass chick. Okay, she's kind of like a bad girl or whatever. And then Ty Lee comes in, and I'm connecting to this chick here. And I don't know what it is. Because, like, I was like a hyper child, very energetic.
To be fair, I think we all kind of were.
Portraying characters who have energy, then you need to get that energy
Yeah.
out. So I was like, aw, I want to be the pretty one. I want to be the one that the boys are like, oh, let me give
And
you
she
shade.
grew up to be the hottest person. Noted.
Like
Ew.
literally on the beach.
Last time we went to a con and Heidi was also there, I just want to say every freaking guy had a crush on her there. Like, all of them. Like, all of them.
I wasn't even there and I had a crush on her.
Dude, I was watching the whole time, like, let me make sure none of them creeps on her. Like, I was always kind of scanning, like, they better not. Like,
Wait, Lucia, was this you? Wait,
I
was
don't know
this
if you
you?
knew that, Heidi, but both Ara and I were there, like, no one better creep. Like, we were watching,
Yeah.
like...
Were you? Hold on. Were you like this? Were you like this the entire time? Are you sure?
Yes,
about
but yes, but because I'm Azula, I did it with a smile, so it was like, are you certain about this? But that's exactly
Yes.
how it was. It's true.
But yeah, that's that thing. Yeah, and then Azula's like, Heidi, be Ty Lee number 2, and I was like, okay.
Azula said that. No, not
Azula said that.
Azula.
If you don't come and voice Ty Lee, I'm gonna burn down your boots. So come voice Ty Lee, Ty Lee.
Okay, Azula,
Azula,
happily.
much like Lucia, is very persuasive.
Very persuasive. As you can see, I think part of the reason our cast works is that everyone has an element of the character they voice, which I think helps. You can see Heidi has that effervescent, indomitable quality about her. You can see that that cow has that tough kind of gremlin, tough, small but don't underestimate energy to her. You can see Cade has, that vibe of a young man that knows what it is to be lost and has this vulnerability to him, so you can forgive him when he kind of gets mad and screams. Also, we bullied him just like Zuko gets bullied by the girls. So you can see that Ryoma, you constantly see the way Ryoma is always trying to peacekeep and make sure everyone is heard. Like, it's there in him, the natural leadership in him. And although James mostly does music rather than voice acting, even in the soundtrack, you can hear the inspirations for the things James loves in the music. And I think that's what really makes it feel sincere, because we have a lot of actors and a lot of us could swap roles and do each other's parts, But I think the way we are cast hits specifically because we each have an element of that character that makes it feel real.
Grant just is Sokka.
Yeah, Grant just
Yeah.
Grant's just Sokka.
he takes off the beard. He's Sokka. Like he's not even.
Mhm.
There was a blood oath made.
And when he has the
somewhere
beard, he's wearing fire.
Grant actually has more Native American in him than the guy they cast to be Sokka and Natla, which is really funny. So
I'm pretty sure I am more Native American.
I
than he
mean, who
does.
knows?
I can imagine like somebody going on I don't know if y'all still use Twitter or X, but just somebody going on social media just being like typing up a full essay video and like these are the top 10 reasons Lucia should be canceled. Number 1, this guy
Do
is
it.
better than the race.
Do it.
Yeah, we're
Dude,
canceled.
I try to cancel myself on a daily basis at this point. I'm just like,
Number
did
one.
you see my Lilo and Stitch review? Like, it was nothing.
Oh,
but
it got
Yeah.
so much
me
heat.
Top-
trying to get
Top-
canceled. But everybody was just like, go off, Queen. I was like, this is hard.
Top 10 reasons to cancel Lucia. Number 1, she didn't agree with my opinion. Number 2, she didn't censor her review of Natla. Number 3, where's the next freaking episode? I'm waiting.
I'm waiting.
Number
That's
Have to
true.
pop
15.
It is my
up
fault.
Lucia's threads being like, why are you booing her? She's right.
Yeah.
But this is why.
Number 4, she is a women's. And as we all
The
know,
worst.
Source? Prove it. Prove she's a woman. I don't believe you. Source?
Oh, really, Azula? When I ask you questions, you get on my case for going source.
Source?
Well, I'd pull up the stream if the internet.
Exactly. You don't have any evidence. That's what I thought.
Dude, the just the
Heidi,
comic
did you
timing
have
right
any Avatar hot takes that you'd care to share?
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I don't think I do.
Heidi's hot takes.
Well,
Heidi could
even
be any
just-
of them in a fight. Heidi could be Aang in a fight.
Just an
That's all.
opinion that you have that you don't know if a lot of people know about, or maybe that
Me and Tylee did take like.
Heidi, what's your opinion on the Ty Lee is a secret, has air nomad ancestry theory?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
You know,
Oh yeah.
I like that. At least some of the evidence in support of it. I'm like, yeah, I could see that. So I support it.
like Cow started her hot take with like, I don't want to be controversial. And Heidi does hers like, yeah, I see that. And I went in, I was like, no notes. Here's the hot take. Shut up. You're wrong. As you can see, elements of our character.
Man.
Inside of you, there are 2 wolves: the Heidi and Cow Wolf and the Lucia
Look,
Wolf.
life is hard. There are some things that you just gotta let go sometimes. And then sometimes you just gotta fight about some stupid fandom stuff that doesn't matter. And then you get to forget about it.
Oh, I also got one.
It's catharsis.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Let's hear it. Let's hear yours.
Okay, this is a joke, but I'll get to my other hot take in a second. But when you were talking about number 1, number 2, number 3, wait until you get to the number 15. Lucia thinks that Momo is actually an evil animal, and these are the top 10 reasons why she thinks
Prove me
like
wrong.
this. Number
Prove
1,
me wrong.
number
Momo is
15.
evil.
Oh my god, that was my
Do you
terrible
know-
number
Number
15.
15.
Okay, I just
Dark
want to point
Momo
out
theory.
evidence. I want to
Momo
point out
theory.
evidence. When Sokka was feverish, Sokka said that Momo
thinking about
spoke
that.
to him and that Momo said very unkind things. I remind you, this is the boy that grew up with Katara and is no stranger to having water whips in his face and fell in love with the first girl that beat his ass. And yet, whatever Momo said to him in his feverish state hurt Sokka so much that he was like, you said really unkind things. And you might be like, Lucia, he was delusional. Momo didn't say those things. Oh yeah? Then how come when Aang had his like dream hallucinations, Momo shows up and we get to hear the things Momo says? And what does Momo say? Very things. The evidence is all there.
To be
Put
fair-
it together.
To be fair to Momo, the first thing Sokka ever did was try to eat him.
So what? 2 wrongs make a right now? Like if someone every person that tries to eat you, you're gonna
and
be
also, if Momo isn't evil, why does no one want him to have a gun?
Yeah. So Momo doesn't get a gun, huh? Explain
Oh
that.
no. Oh
Explain
no.
it.
Don't
can't.
don't give him ideas. Do
Because
not
he's
give
evil.
him ideas, man.
Just also to point out, Appa, they went out of their way to find other existing sky bison so they could breed him and make new baby Appas. That's how much of a good boy Appa is. You know what they didn't do with Momo? They said that evil dies with him. There will not be another generation.
Okay.
Now, one interesting thing about that, though, is, as far as we know throughout Atla, there's no real evidence of other sky bison. As far as we know, Appa was the last one as well, alongside Aang. But Momo was just out there in the wild, so maybe there's already other flying lemurs out there that we just never met.
Him because he's evil.
Okay.
Have we
Imagine-
forgotten that Momo can earthbend, but he's been gaslighting everyone?
Remember, in the prisoner, the Haru episode, they thought Momo was the one.
That's what
earthbending.
Cal was just saying, yeah. Dude, I saw
Yeah.
someone was complaining about a character being hypersexualized, some video game character, and someone misunderstood and thought they were
Momo
talking
from My Hero
My
Academia.
Hero Academia.
Yeah, and someone
So someone
misunderstood.
was like, "Oh, somebody explain why Momo's outfit is relevant for her powers. Explain why Bakugo's isn't, right?"
And somebody
all of
was
this
like,
stuff.
Momo's a lemur. How can you, say, what does his outfit matter?
What's
And
happening?
my favorite response to this was someone taking that scene where Momo looks like he's bending, and they're like, that lemur's bending. And Saku goes, no, you idiot, it's the girl. And so
It's Momo's face.
they took that and they made a meme where the guards are going, that lemur, he's hypersexualized. And Saku's going, no, you idiots, it's the girl.
Oh, right.
Oh.
Look, while we're on this very
Lemur,
niche
he's
topic,
asexual.
while we're on this very niche mistaken Momo identity topic, I do have one of my own that's not like this at all.
What?
So, I had a friend. He's not my friend anymore, but that's a different story. He introduced me to Samurai Champloo. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Samurai. Yes.
I've heard of the show. That is on my
We're
watch
familiar.
list.
You'll like it. You'll like it.
Anyway,
It's really good.
it follows this girl, Fu. Is that her name?
Yeah.
I think her name's Fu. Anyway, in the first episode, we're just following her around, and at 5 minutes into the episode, some flying little squirrel shows up, and it's just making these and so I'm just thinking about her. I was like, oh, hi, Momo. And then without missing a beat, she then goes, oh, hi, Momo. And I was like, I was joking.
You spoke into existence.
You just love it, don't you? You had
Don't
to
you
love
love that when he screams, he sounds like Dante Bosco? Like he just goes into the Bosco.
I don't sound like Dante
When
Bosco.
he screams, just goes into the Bosco
Okay.
register.
Okay, since you're on this subject, okay, so I did have that other hot take that I was gonna mention, and I think we kind of talked about this before, Lucia, but I'm sorry, y'all. Zuko and Mai's, little relationship was just doomed from the start. I'm sorry, y'all.
Yeah.
Zuko and May have some
Yeah.
problems. Yeah.
Yeah.
Zuko and Mei, yeah.
I just
it's been
don't-
very apparent. And, people keep saying, oh,
Yeah.
they're such a cute couple. Why? They are toxic!
My favorite
Yeah, they
was,
were good. They matched each other's toxicity. That's where it is.
I mean,
My
yeah, that's
favorite
what they're
was
good
someone-
for, but no, they're not.
my favorite was someone pointing out that Ty Lee and May are a healthier couple than May and Zuko.
Kylie
Hey.
and May, honestly.
Are you cold? Things are so different. I wonder if things changed. I wonder how I've changed. I asked if you were cold. I didn't ask for your whole life story.
Zuko and
I
May,
mean,
yeah.
For me, it's not even just that they fight. They're teenagers, whatever. It's that May's trauma is specifically that she was made to behave in a very specific, limiting, stifling way because of her dad's political career. This is the last person I would want to marry, the Fire Lord, whose entire life is going to be a political career. Let her go. Free my girl. Just let her go.
She tried to get with the one guy who could not make his girlfriend his priority.
Yeah, and so I feel for her. I feel like she needs to have her own adventure and find herself rather than just be stuck always playing politics for the men in her life. Just let my girl go. Let her free.
Is that a suggestion for future content?
We are going to
Wink,
keep
wink.
the ships we're going to follow the canon ship of Katang because we have to be somewhat canon compliant. And for all the other ships, we are leaving them ambiguous. You may You may ship them as you please. I will not be picking for you who Zuko ends up with. Our plan as the writing team, we've discussed this, is we're going to leave multiple options and you can pick your own adventure. Do you want it to be May? Do you want it to be Jin? Do you want it to be Toph? Do you want it to be this OC? It's all up to you. They're all going to be valid options, and you can fill in which one you think is Azumi's mom. Because I don't even want to touch that.
Yeah. There's so much stuff. Okay.
And Lucia said, "Dial it back."
Yeah,
Yeah, dial it back.
Just like the original writer's room, there's a lot of different opinions about who Zuko should end up with. And so my solution was like, just make them all valid alternatives and the fandom can read the one they think is the one. That's
Yeah,
the
that'll
only-
go over well within the
And
fandom.
then we go to the last episode and we say it was Fashiko all along.
It was Fashiko, obviously. That's his
Fashiko.
real... We said fashion is his true passion. So,
Yeah.
this-
Yeah.
It's like poetry. It rhymes.
he's a brat. So.
Yeah.
Izumi's mom is 7 different coats.
Yeah.
You
But
heard it here first.
you were
Yeah.
Yeah.
Different coats. Zuko
I'm
just had a headache one day, and then like Izumi just like popped out of his ear. He was just like
In
Yeah.
a Zeus Athena situation, she sprung from his
Just
head.
sprung
full-
from there,
full
yeah.
battle armor.
Sokka whacked him in the head with that freaking boomerang, and Izumi just sprung out.
No,
And
no,
now
no, no,
Sokka
no.
says technically I'm her mom, so the winners are the Suka ship.
Yeah,
Zuka ship.
Sokka.
Okay. Here's something that I'm still kind of
So
stuck
good.
on. And trust me, if we did like a whole episode on just Avatar hot takes, dude, we would just be going on forever. But on the topic of Appa, because they sort of say that, I mean, I know they definitely say that Appa is the last of his tribe, but then in Korra, we get more of them. And I'm like, huh? What?
Well, I
From
mean,
what I understand, their explanation was, you know how there's the black rhino and the white rhino, and one of them is now
Yeah.
basically extinct, and the other one is still around to the point that they were trying to interbreed them to save the species. Their explanation was like that Appa was one type of air bison that is now completely wiped out, but that they found a subspecies that was still compatible with Appa. That's the canon explanation. And if you didn't get that from the show, it's because they never explained it to you.
That's exactly what I was about to say. Yeah. Just explain!
Yeah, they never tell you. It's just in other materials where it's
Hold up.
Yeah.
Like how they never
Robert,
properly defined that Toph is able to sense the earth even if it's not on the ground unless you got the special bonus edition DVD with the live commentary.
I never got that neither. Okay. Yeah.
Robert, check the chat.
Most people only learn to that when they watch.
there's a chat again.
No,
Wait,
the
we got a
Discord.
chat?
The
Are we on
Discord chat.
Twitch? Am I?
Oh, we should
do I
probably
get my
wrap
Prime
up. Yeah,
membership? Yeah.
we should probably wrap up.
Yeah.
I gotta
Um,
get going too.
yeah, we have been going a while.
Yeah.
We just
But
haven't
it
done-
makes
It has
really
been
great discussion.
4 hours.
Thank you for
Yeah,
having
wow.
us.
This has been
Please
fun.
drop a link where we can upload our audio because it's going to be way too long for.
for one single audio
For email or
processor.
anything.
So
Yeah.
let me do that.
Yeah. So let me just trust me. There's like a billion other times. So hey, if we do a sequel or something in the near future, we'll probably do something like this.
Yeah,
But
I'm down
I
for
don't
a
know.
part 2.
Yeah, I'd be down for a part 2 as well. I just don't know when because our schedules are just like absolutely out of whack, man.
Yep.
It's just insanity, especially for me because yeah. But I just kind of feel really inspired. Just real talk.
I mean, I showed up last minute, like Zuko.
Yeah. Hi, Sugo here. Oh no, it's hi, Cal Kate here. What's
I
up?
also have to get going. I'm going to go ahead and drop out and save my audio so I can send it to you.
For sure.
Can you drop your email where you want us to send it to, and I'll use the
Yeah.
WeTransfer thing that Heidi so helpfully
Okay.
posted. Thank you, Heidi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could do it via email, or you could also just drop the link. I think I don't know. I just sent
Yeah.
you the link.
Thank you.
I was gonna.
Oh, you guys, I really got to get going.
Okay, yeah.
Bye.
Let's close out.
Say bye, Zuko.
Bye, Zuko.
Alrighty, so to close this out, I just want to thank everybody for joining me today, and yeah, I know this has been a really long 4-ish hour kind of session and what have you, so I just wanted to know if anybody has any closing thoughts or final word, like advice, just anything to close out. plug in your stuff, socials, whatever last minute
Thank
stuff
you
that you
so
want to get
much
out
for
there.
having us. I would encourage
Yes.
everybody to check out our Book 4 Air restoration project. You can find us on YouTube at Book 4 Air. We also have a kind of behind the scenes streaming channel called Book 4 on the Air. I encourage you to check us out there. We're also on social media on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok, on Tumblr, on Blue Sky. Cast and crew are always around, so shoot us a message, send us some memes, let's have a good time. All likes, comments, subscriptions are very, very much appreciated. And if you would like to donate to us and help us make episodes faster, we have Ko-Fi and Patreon. Thank you guys so much. It was great being here.
That was so well put, Cal.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, very well put. Anybody have any farewells or goodbyes or just close out in character? Just whatever.
See you later, Dunderheads.
Bye, everybody! Remember, Cow's face is very face.
See you in episode 7. See you in episode 7.
Whenever that
I'm the
comes
music
out.
guy.
Later.
I'm the music guy. I don't have a character, so bye.
Music interlude.
Yeah.
Toot.
Okay. I guess on that note, as my mom just tried to come in here, but thank you so much. What a perfect way to close this out on. I was almost about to say close this out in prayer, but I mean, isn't Avatar kind of a spiritual show in a way?
Yeah, God bless us. God bless Avatar. God bless all you beautiful viewers out there.
Yeah, Pen, I guess on that note, thank you all for watching, and I knew this was going to go over, so if you stuck around until the very end, way to go. Give yourself a pat on the back, and eat a cookie or something. I don't know. Get food. Eat something.
Yeah,
so,
food's important, yo.
Food's
Exactly,
very
man.
important.
Oh, for sure.
Hydrate before you dihydrate.
Yeah, so on behalf of me and everybody else in the call, I'm Robert Jackson, and everybody that just joined me for shenanigans today. This is Station Square Podcast. Stick around next time for more episodes, and stick around for whenever this is going to go up at some point, because I don't know how long it's going to... Man, I haven't even checked my recording. I know it's probably going to be like a monster just to take care of. But regardless, thanks for watching. Stick around next time. And until then, this is Station Square, Robert Jackson, signing out. And yeah, happy 20 years, Avatar. And we love you very, very, very much. So much. God bless. Live long and prosper. Say bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Flame me out, Hotman. Flame me out.
Sayonara.
I'm jumping. Bye, y'all.